This is the Kia Halftime Show.
Halftime at New England, Teddy Bruschi back Patriots, but Buffalo circling a couple of wagons, leading 3-0 at the half. Wellington Mara, beloved owner of the New York Football Giants, passed away this past Tuesday at the age of 89. His father, Tim, purchased the club way back in 1925. In short, Wellington Mara saw it all for the Giants and for the National Football League. He touched everybody. He was beloved. And fittingly, the Giants, in an unexpected game for first place today against the Washington Redskins, every coach and every player and everybody in that organization made sure that they were buttoned up today, and boy, did it show, as the fans and everyone in the stadium and everyone who he ever touched honored Wellington Mara. One of his 40 grandkids, Kate Mara, sang the national anthem. Was beautiful. The story told by his grandkids that in his last couple of days, he awoke last week to see Eli Manning hit Amani Toomer with the winning touchdown in the final seconds against Denver. Eli and Amani were at it again. Manning an economical day, but on this day, everybody, they pressured Mark Brunell. They held the Redskins to 34 yards in the first half, 5 sacks, 4 turnovers. The only time Joe Gibbs' team has ever been shut out in the regular season was on this day. Reggie Torber, special teams, causing a fumble. Jay Feely had 5 field goals. I'm telling you, everybody, starting with Tiki Barber, a career-high 206 yards, was buttoned up and playing their best. This was supposed to be a showdown. It was no contest. 36-0, the Giants. Tim McDonald, one of Wellington's grandsons, gets the game ball from Tiki, and the memory of Wellington Mara, front and center, as it should have been today. Congratulations, Giants, Tom Coughlin, everybody, for a job just unbelievably done. Monday Night Football.
I'm John DeCepolo. Riding a huge wave of emotions, the Giants waste no time showing Washington the door. A commanding performance today by Big Blue at home.
I'm Risha. Candidates. The late Wellington Mara may not have been physically on the field, but there was no doubt that he was all over this afternoon's game. The Blue Crew expresses the importance of winning for the Duke.
And I'm Carl Reuter. The Knicks held an open practice this afternoon at the Garden. Almost 10,000 fans on hand to watch Stephon Marbury and company. Following the workout, I caught up with the kid from Coney Island. The story is a 3-point field goal away. John?
Plus, the Nets open their season this week against the Milwaukee Bucks, but will New Jersey be ready to make a statement this year? Find out. Sports Extra starts right now.
We honor the memory of Giants president Wellington Mara, his love of the game, his Giants, and you, the fans, were unparalleled. We ask now that you observe a few moments of silence in memory of Giants president Wellington Mara.
For 80 years, Wellington Mara was the face of the Giants organization. Under his direction, he saw generations of players come and go, but more importantly, he helped the NFL build an empire that is still going strong today. Mara was laid to rest this weekend, and with his passing ended an amazing era in Giants football history. So today, the G-men dedicated their game against the Redskins to the man they called Duke. And right from the get-go, the Giants set the tone on this one. First play of the game, Tiki Barber rips off a gorgeous 57-yard run. It would set up a Jay Feely field goal. But the Giants defense was relentless. Kendrick Allen takes down Mark Brunell for one of 5 sacks on the day. Now, Tiki's first run we showed you was his longest of the year until he broke free for another long jaunt. This one good for 59 yards, down to the Redskins 2. Setting up the rookie, Brandon Jacobs, from 3 yards out, and no, there will be no fumble on this one. He gets into the end zone. Giants on top 13-0. And the defense just knocked and battered the Skins around all game long. They were unbelievable. They caused 4 fumbles, this one here by Santana Moss, and the Giants would recover. Now, quarterback Eli Manning didn't have a great game in the first half, but he did start to heat up in the third, finding Jeremy Shockey from 10 yards out, who then sheds LeVar Arrington off his back. 26-0 G-men. and the Redskins could do nothing right offensively. They only had 34 yards from scrimmage in the first half, and here Chris Cooley fumbles, and the Giants recovered deep inside Washington territory. And that sets up who else? Tiki Barber from 4 yards out. Barber had a career day rushing for 206 yards. And that was the final nail in the coffin, and the sign pretty much said it all. Thank you very much, Wellington Mara, for the memories and for the team and the league you've given us. Giants throttle the Skins 36-0, handing Joe Gibbs his first shutout ever in the regular season. And Reish, obviously an emotional day for the Giants, but the team really stepped up and made a statement today.
Oh, without a doubt. And I tell you what, if there was any wonder as to whether or not the New York Football Giants would be able to corral their emotions and focus for 60 game time minutes, they answered with an emphatic yes. No one, however, was louder than running back Tiki Barber.
Shockey in the slot, Barra split left, a handoff to Barber. And Tiki Barber is in for the touchdown.
Did you almost feel yourself being pushed down the field by Mara himself?
A little bit. I was especially excited about this last touchdown. I told his grandson, Tim McDonald, I'd score one for him, and I was proud to be able to do it.
And the Giants were proud to be able to put together a game that surely made the late Wellington Mara proud, because his team didn't just show up, they dominated.
I think everybody responded great. We didn't use it as an excuse. We realized that, the passing of Mr. Mara, the one thing that he would want is for us to come out and play well and win. And we definitely did that for him, for his family, who's had a tough few months dealing with the situation. And, as players, you only hope to go out here and play your best and give everything you have. And I think, as I said the other day, that, Mr. Mara definitely was an inspiration and a motivation for us.
I thought it made us more focused than anything. And I think it really showed out there, the determination guys had today and the drive and the way in which guys just flew around the field.
I know everyone is excited about the win, and it's definitely good to get a great victory. And it's not going to take away from what happened this week, but I know it maybe can make things feel a little bit better around here.
For others, there was a dual motivation. Antonio Pierce had a score to settle with the team who let him walk away.
Intercepted as a flag as well.
Talk about what this game meant to you, coming out here and pitching a shutout against your former mate.
Feels good. I was glad to get a win for the organization, for Mr. Mara. It was an emotional week for everybody, for me included. It was a big game, big win.
The guys went out and gave maximum effort today to try to just win this game for this team, for the organization, and for his family.
Your thoughts as far as he's up there watching this game? I'm sure you all agree that he definitely enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, these two teams went at it for a long time, and we know he's up there and just thrilled. But, like I said, he's probably thinking, I did a great job, but don't get too overconfident because, we got San Francisco next week, and I'll be watching.
Most definitely. And I tell you what, another thing that they all talked about when you look at this win, even Jeremy said it himself, they kicked way too many field goals in his mind. But this game was won defensively, and it was also won on the ground running. And they said those are the two things that Wellington Mara loved most about football. So not only did they get a wonderful and emotional and needed win, but they did it old school style. They did it the way the Duke would have liked it to be done.
And emotions aside, this win now puts them atop first place in the NFC East.
5-2, leading Dallas Cowboys right now. So things look good for this football team. And one thing that they also talked about is the consistency factor. They said, we know that we can play defense like this. We know we can play this game like this. So now it's a matter of consistently doing it, getting back on the hill. So they have to be careful next week. That could be that classic trap game. San Francisco 49ers are pretty much pee-wee football, but you have to play that game just as hard.
Exactly. Can't afford to get caught up in that trap, as you said, on the road where they struggled. All right, thank you very much, Reish. Still plenty more to come here in Sports Extra.
Wellington Mara, a patriarch in the National Football League, 89 years of age. He spelled football. He spelled the Giants. He spelled class. The Giants have been in the Mara family since 1925. He, as a kid, saw things as far back as the sneaker game, beloved by everybody in the organization. You saw it by who showed up at the funeral on Friday. And today, the New York Giants had a chance to pay him, the late Wellington Mara, the ultimate compliment by, in a game for first place with the Washington Redskins, they had a chance to show who was boss. This is one of his 40 grandchildren. This is Kate Mara singing the national anthem. everybody thinking of Wellington Mara. There wasn't a person that met him that didn't love him. And Tiki Barber was one of those that knew him well. And on the very first play from scrimmage, 57 yards, setting up a field goal. The Giants, every man on this roster made sure that they brought their best game. Clinton Portis hit hard by Brent Alexander. Portis shaking, he returned 4 carries, 9 yards. 3rd and 13 from the 17. Mark Brunell is going to be sacked by Michael Strahan, one of the Giant veterans who was stirred by the passing of Wellington Mara. Feely has kicked another field goal, 6-0. And then Tiki, look at him hit the hole. Look at him get the block. And he could go just about all the way. Down to the one from flying when Brandon Jacobs takes it in for a touchdown. 16-0 Giants, under 2 minutes to go. Brunell picked off by former Skin Antonio Pierce. Brunell today 11 of 28 for 65 yards. This was a team that scored 52 last week. Now, beginning of the 3rd quarter, how about the special teams? Liddell Betts fumbles, and think about it, Willie Ponder gets on the ball for the Giants. Setting up Eli Manning to Jeremy Shockey. Look at this. In the end zone, 26-0. Now 29-0. 3rd and goal Giants, 3rd quarter later. Tiki barreling. Touchdown. Tiki with a career best 206. Tim McDonald, one of Wellington's grandsons, gets the ball. Barber hugs Tim McDonald. Thank you, Wellington, and thank you, Giants. My goodness, this was over before it started. 36-0. The Giants, led by Tiki Barber, 206 yards, made sure that their boss upstairs knew exactly what they thought of him.
I think it was an emotional week, especially for some of those guys who have been here for a long time. And I guess to be able to go out on this field today against one of our heated rivals in a very important game in our division, and to represent the kind of the character and Giant pride that he always exemplified as an owner, it means a lot to us, especially to me. To have a day like this, as much as this team has meant to me, it's special.
The thing I think that was most impressive, and you've got to look at what Tiki and everything is, it was everybody. Okay?
It was everybody.
It was for example, Skins 34 yards offense in the first half. Okay, we gave you Brunell's numbers. You saw what Tiki Barber did. The special teams, you saw part of what they did. Feely had 5 field. Everybody was so buttoned up, and Tom Coughlin and the whole squad should be just proud of the way they played. And by the way, they're in first place.
Yeah, they played inspirational football. And I think that when Wellington Mara began in the NFL, it was all about running the ball. So he must be smiling down on this football team. And that's where we begin our extra point. Tiki Barber, his 24 carries, his 200-plus yards. Here's the way it happens. Sean Taylor, we're going to spot shadow him right there. He's got a bead on Tiki Barber, but he gets caught up in the wash outside. Walt Harris can't quite get back inside. Tiki does a great job of splitting the seam. Plexico Burris, who learned his blocking with the Pittsburgh Steelers, does a great job of getting him off right there down the field. Again, here, the handoff in the middle of the field, the cutback. Walt Harris right there on a blitz package. You see the great cutback. Again, Sean Taylor gets pinned inside. Plexico Burris again with the block, repeated all day long down the sideline for a 57-yard gain. Again here, the inside wash, the spot shadow. You see the block outside on Walt Harris, holds him up just long enough to clear the corner. You get Sean Taylor right there coming around, and the next thing you know, you've got a nice gain. Again, the handoff, and this looks repetitive. You see the angles, the bad angle taken almost every time by either the safety and or the corner. There's Sean Taylor again. That one was a step away from going all the way. But again, I just think a matter of such solid blocking at the line of scrimmage, blocking by the wide receivers, blocking by the offensive line, good cuts by the back. I think you said it. It was everybody on the football team doing their job. They played inspirational football.
And just to show you what, on the defensive side, now Joe Gibbs in the Hall of Fame, and he got there for his offensive coaching ability. He's never been shut out in the regular season until today. He'd only been shut out one more time in the playoffs. That was at Giant Stadium in the NFC Championship game in 1986, which Wellington Mara and the Giants won their first Super Bowl. I don't know. Sometimes it makes